Hi, Ed Golod, Speedcast, here again with Andy Lee, COO, co-founder of Vincere Biosciences. Mr. Lee today, how are you?
Doing well. How are you, Ed?
Good. Today is my favorite topic. Show me the money. You know, when I saw the Jerry Maguire movie, I had that expression 30 years earlier, but I never patented. But you've heard that story from me. So we're going to talk about money today. Money is good, not greed. Money is good. It drives the world. We've been talking quite a bit about Parkinson's, the platform you developed, the tools you developed, the advantages that you have, the mechanisms being bio and tech and complex AI. You're really I call Generation 4.0 cure for a disease, curing many organs into almost $1 trillion business. Spell it out for me. If I was investing in this, small, medium, or large, how would I understand the optics of the return, which are a lot more intense than I think people understand them to be?
Yeah, it's a good question. And I'm going to start broad with an overview of the way the drug development ecosystem works in general. If you think about a cure for Parkinson, something that actually stops the progression of the disease, is estimated to be worth somewhere north of $100 billion. And so that's the commercial value once an approved drug is being sold through doctors to patients. That's the incentive that the pharmaceutical companies have to either invent or purchase something that can do that. The typical process, especially in the last 10 years or so, is that pharmas are leaning more heavily on external innovation rather than internal invention. And they're looking for things right around the first in human trial. You may have heard of the FDA's clinical trials of phase 1, where you test for safety, phase 2, where you get a proof of concept that it works in a small set of patients, to phase 3, where you show that it works in a large number of patients. And so somewhere around that phase 1 trial, pharmas want to in-license promising drugs. Well, for similar diseases of neurodegeneration, for Parkinson's disease drugs similar to what we're creating, the industry average is about $500 million for that, to in-license a drug that does that. So that then you can see there, the finances for the pharma make sense. They buy something for $500 million. If it works, it's $100 billion. They know they're going to have to buy, 10 of these, and hopefully one of them works, and they still make good money on the other side. For going now on the earliest side of scientific discovery, where people are just taking basic science to come up with the building blocks of what happens, this is almost entirely funded by government grants, where the NIH and NSF are funding $60 billion a year of basic research to the universities.
Yes, and you're funded by grants. And what I love more than anything is you're funded by the Michael J. Fox Foundation. And everybody in the world knows Muhammad Ali, who died of Parkinson's, who was my hero, who I met and actually sat and had a conversation with. He's on your website. And everybody knows Michael J. Fox, Back to the Future. So this actually opens up another conversation of how you're getting your money. And then how does it translate to an investor saying, hey, what do I get in 3 years, 5 years, 7 years? You're not your mother's or grandfather's drug company here.
Yep. And so that leads nicely to this, the gap that Vincere fills. We're amongst the set of biotech companies that bridge between the grant-funded basic research that happens in the millions of dollars per year of study kind of range, to the pharma in licensing that's in the hundreds of millions of dollar range. And in that middle, you've got biotech companies in the tens of millions of dollars range that are taking these new discoveries out of academia, or in our case, a lot of it done with internal research that we're doing that basic science ourselves, to develop that from an idea into a drug, and then sell that drug to the pharma for that final commercial translation. And so you've got this gap where you can go from tens of millions of investment to hundreds of millions of dollars in returns within a 2-3 year time span. From that, we've got a good idea this is going to work, till we get it to humans to start to prove that it works.
That is That is the sentence. That is the show me the money sentence.